Hi guys, welcome to another episode. It's probably fourth or fifth episode from the series about building hive. Today it's raining outside right now, so I have a bit of time to make a roof for my hives, and I will make how I'm going to do this. At the very top there will be plywood, 12 millimeter. I've got already prepared. It's not trimmed to the correct size because it will not be that big. It will be 45 by 45. That's the outer dimension of my box that I built in the previous episode. It will be supported from this direction by solid wood. I've got not that big. I will trim this. I will back to this in a second. I will use solid wood because from my experience, even non-treated solid wood better deals with the weather conditions than plywood, even treated, even waterproof. I don't know why. Maybe that's the quality of plywood that I have access to, but that's why I decided to make the frame from the solid wood. On the top of the plywood there will be a thin sheet of aluminium that was used in offset printers, and this used to be main beam of the fence of my dog's playpen. It is, maybe you can see, maybe not, but it is very far from being straight. So I will trim it on the mat or so. I need 45 centimeters and then make 45, more or less 45 by 17 mils, the thickness. I don't know yet, I didn't decide. Oh, here you can see a hole after some screw or even bolt. So my goal is to take more or less 55 centimeters of this, then make it as straight as I can, and then prepared, we will see 4 or 8 pieces, depends on the weather conditions for today. Yeah, but the idea is to trim small piece of this to make it easier to straighten and make it reusable material again. So let's get started. I took a bit longer piece of wood that I need for a few reasons. It's a bowl. There's some damage. I don't know how deep the damage is, so maybe I would need to trim it. We will see. And here now I can show you. It's pretty bent. But in this that side seems to be less, so should be easier to make it straight. It's like a bow going this direction. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my level, put against the fence, and then having this long support, pass it through the blade. It's quite dangerous, especially with such a big piece of wood. So be careful if you like the amount of fingers that you have. So it works, but you have to be very focused just on this one finger. Okay, so that piece is a bit more stable right now. It's not bending that much. Why I do not use this extension from my table saw in the very first pass, because if your wood is bending and it goes through that surface and there is a gap between, it may hook on this extension. So that's why I prefer to have a little bit shorter support after blade, but do not have to struggle with hooked wood having such a big piece of blade exposed. So that's why it's closed. So now, having that surface, that surface flat, I can use this one for the next pass. I can see that it is bending in this direction, so I will pass it that way, and let's hope it will make it a bit more straight. Okay, so now it should be more straight and more square as well. It's still not perfect, but yeah, we are almost 90 degrees. So now I can remove my level as a support extension for my fence, and using those two surfaces to continue straightening that piece of wood. That's my piece of wood after 4 passes. Just make it a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's not that bad. He's stable. Yeah, it's pretty okay. So now I need to select the 40, let's say 8 centimeters for now, because now I'll need to make a smaller pieces, and to make it, when I make it shorter, it will take me less time. Our piece of wood is shortened. It's a bit too long still, but it's way easier to handle. Now I will make 17 mils with thick boards, and then height we will see. I didn't decide it yet. It has to have at least 30, 34, 35 millimeters, because there's a 1 centimeter for groove and some space at the top is very welcome. But first, let's make those cuts. I have 5 pretty nice pieces of wood. It's 17 millimeters in this dimension. Here is more or less 27. So it's a little bit smaller than I was thinking about, but it's still not bad. The only purpose of the roof is just to cover the whole hive from rain, snow, and wind. Of course, you have to close it, but there's no direct force trying to destroy this, like on a box or even on the bottom where the whole weight of the hive is sitting on. I have 2. These are kind of scraps, but I will keep them just in case of emergency. Maybe some of them will be broken, or I will need one for the next roof and I will be out of wood, so I will keep it. So now I need to trim the big piece of plywood to the final dimension 45 by 45 centimeters, and then I will nail and glue this to the plywood, and then I will cover everything using the sheet of aluminum. proof is done. For the top layer I used aluminium, and the sheet is way bigger than I need, so you can see there's still some pictograms, some text. Seems that someone was printing catalog with valves, pipes, all this kind of stuff. Probably just the date of printing this. To cut it, I use a regular knife. Now it's dull, but that's how I trim it. I said that I will paint it and then I will add this aluminium on the top, but because, as usual, I'm short on time, so I will use the raw wood. Next one will be painted. So here we have nice aluminium cover. Corners, I'm not sure if you can see, are also protected, nothing is cutted, it's just folded, nailed around. And what I did also as a small improvement, I took the smallest router bit, but it can be done by knife and sanding paper. The internal edge I rounded just to make it a little bit bigger, to make it more comfortable using it on the box. So that's all in this very short episode. Thanks for watching, keep up the good work and see you next time.